Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CCA. My name is Falco Flyer, and I am joined here by Drumar, and we have Springfield, Ohio versus EaUCD Banana Split coming up. This will be a Div 1 match. Drumar, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Falco. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. We will be starting off with Splat Zones on Hagglefish Market. So I want to talk about these two teams for a little bit. We mentioned that they are both Div 1. Both went 4-1 in the entrance exam that happened at the beginning of the season. So both did very, very well. And in fact, EaUCD Banana Split actually got second place overall, so very impressive. And it looks like we will be hopping into this first game now. Once again, Splat Zones on Hagglefish Market. And let's take a first look at these comps. Drumar, what catches your eye?
Seeing a Dynamo Roller on one of these teams is very interesting. Seeing a 92 Deco on another team. It doesn't look like the meta has changed that much as we see double splash on one of these teams. Shockers. Welcome to Splatoon 3. But I'm really excited to see how this match turns out.
Yeah, you know, I have been noticing more players have been using Wiper more and more. I would say in particular with this 3.0 update. But yeah, we don't really see any of the new weapons other than the 96 Deca, like you pointed out, and that has been a very popular pick, especially with the Splat Wall and the Kraken, and that's going to be a really nice double there for Batson. Talk about a triple. Look at that. Getting that right off the bat, that is going to allow Springfield, Ohio to push up and help take the lead. That is a delayed quadrant mark.
Yeah, they got a track and it's too late as they go down to teams. Both teams seem to be charging up their specials. We got a stamp ready on one team, stamp on both teams. Sorry, to see how quickly teams can get their specials. See if the other team can snap the zone, and it looks like they might. And it's really close. It's really close. It might actually, and it's 3 down on one team. Are they gonna cap it? Yes,
yeah,
they will.
It looks like they are, and that all started with the stamp play on the side of Banana Split. You know, you get that flank, you're able to catch player off guard, and you just kind of take out players one by one, start with the back line, push your way forward, and that is really working out now for Banana Split as they are able to push up. Of course, they're watching this tent here on the left side. Noel going to be throwing up that stamp, getting a pick too, so they are rocking and rolling, and it looks like they are on pace to take the lead.
Stamp absolutely taking the head off of one of the members of Springfield. And EaUCD Banana Split seems to have taken the lead, but they have a Kraken out on the side of Springfield. And they are able to get a pick off of that to see if they can get another pick off the side. I believe Springfield still has the zone, and not anymore, as they get 60 penalty points, and that's a wipeout.
Yeah, and that was going to be their opportunity to try something magical. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't have a ton of turf to really push forward. So, you know, didn't work out for them. But that is going to give Banana Split a lot of penalty points that they are going to have to sit through. But look at this, 2 players down. They are not sweating these penalty points at all. And this is why this team got second place overall in the tournament, too. How coordinated and how well they are pushing on this lockout. So they are on pace to do great things. But now look at this. Springfield, Ohio has 2-player advantage. Going to be using this crab here on the right side of the tent, pushing some players back. Batson using that Kraken to push forward, and that is going to allow them to cap, giving 49 penalty points for Banana Split.
Yeah, that was a great use of both the crab tank and the Kraken at the same time, able to put pressure on that zone and eventually make it able to flip.
And now with about 2 minutes remaining, Springfield's going to have to find an answer. They haven't had a successful lockout that Banana Split has had so far, so they really got to first find a way to break through for the Charger, who's just going to get one, and then another player is going to go down on Springfield, Ohio, as well, as we see Batson trying to run away there, staying alive. Noel getting the stamp out, but is going to go down to Sam, who's the only one alive with the crab, and that's going to be life out. And I think this one's going to seal the deal, Drumar.
Yeah, definitely. They're already down to 5 points remaining, and trying to try strikes in the zone, and that is a game.
Yeah, so we saw that Springfield, Ohio, they were able to cap pretty early on, and I'll be honest, it was a very convincing push that all started with that delayed quad by Batson, who was able to push up, but the response from Banana Split, I don't think you could really find a way to counter it, just because of how well protected they had pretty much the entire map that prevented any sort of flank. So, again, these are 2 Div 1 teams here in CCA. Both have been very, very good good. And to talk more a little bit about how well these teams have done outside of CCA, Banana Split, they played in Lowing February, went 4-2 in groups, and made game a bracket. And remember, this was a tournament that had, I think, like 160 teams with how blown up Lowing has been. So they've been very successful. We know Batson is a member of Inked, who played in Ludi Div 4 with a lot of their strong members. I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about the other players on the side of Springfield, Ohio. So, but anytime you have a player who does pretty well in comp, you're gonna be setting the bar pretty high.
Yeah, definitely, and it's pretty clear that these teams are Div 1. Both these teams going top 10 in entrance exam. This is going to be a very strong fight between the two of them.
Certainly is. And again, like, most of these players here just have already a ton of comp experience so far, but it's kind of interesting because CCA started, I'll say, at a perfect time for these teams with having this new update. You never want to have a major update in the middle of a season where you're going to have to learn how to adapt to different things that might be thrown your way. So at this point, we've had the 3.0 update for about 5 days now, which is more than enough time to just kind of practice some of these weapons and try and get used to it. And that's why, too, we only saw one weapon come out from that update, and that was Batson using the 96 Deco, which, again, the Kraken has been a fire special so far. I don't know I don't know how you feel about Kraken, Drumar, but it's been really fun to watch.
It's fun. I'm just, even for a Splatoon 1 veteran, I'm just not very good with it. But yeah, like we were saying, we've had the update for about 5 days, I believe. It's been a lot of fun, but it makes sense why teams are not really using the new weapons as much. Still learning all the new specials, new matchups, new everything, pretty much. This game is completely different from what it was a few days ago, and teams have to really buckle down and learn everything as quick as they can. I was really excited knowing that CCA was going to start right when the update comes out, because you have no idea what to expect.
I wonder if they coordinated with Nintendo on that. No.
I wonder.
But it's also, too, because it's kind of like a mind game where you're thinking about what your opponents are going to do. Like, are they going to use the meta from the last season? Or are they going to try and set the tone and set a pace of what a new meta can be? So you really have to think about just kind of, rather than making you want to make a proactive decision, but you really have to think about the comps that your enemies can bring out too. So it's just, like you said, it's a different game, and it's definitely something you have to work through.
Yeah, teams are really going to have to determine what weapons they're going to play. Coming from a fellow CCA player myself, our team has been wondering a whole bunch of stuff. Me being the main slayer, still don't know if I'm going to go Vanilla Splash or Neo Splash, still gotta determine that. Who knows if we're gonna eventually pick up an N-Zap or something. Who knows if our backline is gonna stick with either, or are they gonna play the ZF Charger. We still have a lot of stuff to figure out, and I'm really excited to see how the season goes.
Yeah, ZF Charger becoming very popular, and I think between the two splashes, you can't really make a wrong decision with just how popular and I'll say good those specials are. So we will be moving on to Game 2, Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard, and we do see that Springfield, Ohio readied up, and they knew what they were doing. I feel like they're running a very similar comp. They're like, we want to run this back. We know we can't take this team on. Because Splat Zones played very differently than Tower Control. Obviously, here you have a moving objective rather than a stationary objective, so you gotta be a little more mindful of a few things, and let's hop right into it. Let's see if either team has made any changes.
See a double splash again, and we see a Bamboozler. Very interesting weapon choices, but let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Bamboozler is not something we see very often here. This is a fun comp, I'll say. Bamboo, Tetras on the side of Banana Split, and this is going to be the same comp that we saw from Springfield, Ohio in Game 1. So a lot of paint coverage, I'll say, for really both teams between the T-Tech, the Tetras, and then both splashes. And like that, 3 players are going to go down. That's actually going to be a delayed wipe, so this is going to work out very well here for, I believe this is Banana Split, the purple team. So they are cooking.
Kills already popping and cracking right in the enemy zone. See if they can get a kill, and they are able to get one kill. and they are still pretty much on the front lines as a midliner. One thing I love about this game is that you can play a backliner as a frontliner, and it still won't matter. Frontline forever. I love frontlines. Yeah, and it looks like they're already able to push it all the way up to almost 12 until 3 sadly go down on the side of Banana Split.
Yeah, they breezed through that first checkpoint. There was no contention with that one. The second one was a little more tricky for Banana Split, but they did get through it. So getting all the way to 12 on that push is going to be really good. And look, this push actually is not over as 3 players were down on Springfield, Ohio. A lot of map control on the side for Banana Split as they are trying to push forward with that triple ink strike still on the tower, doing everything they can. The GG Kraken on tower control. Look at that. Banana Split up 2-0.
Kraken on the tower. It's just free points, pretty much. Unless you can knock it off, it's pretty much free points. Yeah, that was...
that's something that we've seen Twitter clips of this, of like, oh no, here's how strong the Kraken is pretty much for every mode. We've seen the GG tower control, you just kind of take it on. We've seen, I'll say, the GG Rainmaker, where the Rainmaker is directly next to the podium. Guess what? You dash up, you slide up that podium and dunk it, and it's really hard to contest. So that was a good decision for Banana Split because they didn't have this weapon in game 1. It was Springfield, Ohio, who only had the 96 deco, but yeah, Banana Split bringing it out for the second game.
Yeah, totally. It looks like we're going to have another switch out on one of the teams. But game 3 is going to be Rainmaker on Hammerhead Bridge. Akko, what can you say about this?
Yeah, I mean, this one, the map itself is very similar to Hagglefish, just having it be kind of like that long rectangle style of gameplay where we saw Banana Split do really well on. But of course, a new mode can change everything. I think having these checkpoints is going to benefit Springfield, Ohio. It's going to give them more time to kind of regroup and not have to worry about that knockout push. So Banana Split will potentially, I don't want to say struggle more, but it will give Springfield an opportunity to kind of counter what Banana Split has been doing very well so far.
Yeah, and both of these teams, pretty much all of them are already ready to up. They know what they want to play, and they're just gonna keep it rolling. See if any weapons have changed or anything like that.
All right, and let's take a look now at these comps. On the side of, there's going to be a change actually on the side of Springfield.
E-Mini, let's go!
Yep, this is a weapon I would think that Batson would bring out. I know Batson as a Splatling player, so this is going to be the one to bring it out. And it looks like Banana Split going to be bringing out the E-Leader instead of the Bamboozler, but going to keep the rest of the comp very similar.
Yeah, these are not that major of weapon changes, but seeing a V-Mini like 6 months after the game came out is a rarity. And I miss playing V-Mini. I played V-Mini in Splatoon 2 before I played any comp. And then I saw it had Ultra Stamp in Splatoon 3 and it just decided to drop it because I cannot play Ultra Stamp. So it's going to be really fun to see.
Yeah, and I always like seeing the weapons that we don't see very often, and this is something that I'll say made low-level Ludi pretty fun too, just because they're not as inclined to play the meta. It's not going to be as interesting. And look at this, the Tetra player on this side of Banana Split, able to stay alive through all this. They're going to try to jump out, but it's not going to work.
Yeah, the Ultra Stamp is pushing up, and not quite. It looks like the Rainmaker is right by the podium. And that is a Kraken popped on one team. And that is a Crab trying to get mid-control as well as Stamp. Let's see if they got... Oh, and the Kraken right from behind kills the Crab. And the Deco is just pushing up all the way in their zone. Sadly, it goes down to the Stamp. But these are just trades upon trades for kills on both of these teams.
Yeah, and again, that's only going to benefit Banana Split at this time because they have that slight advantage getting through that first checkpoint. Rainmaker is going to reset, and it's just going to be Batson alive for Springfield, but not a ton of map control to work with. And look at that, a very nice pick on Eve there. And now going to be going down to, it looks like that's going to be Noel using the Wiper. So again, getting more map control, Banana Split able to hold on to mid and not letting Springfield, Ohio get their first push quite yet.
Yeah, both teams pretty much haven't really gotten a push. On the side of Banana Split, they have gotten to the checkpoint. That's pretty much all they've gotten. And it looks like I might be eating my words with the commentator's curse because they're pushing all the way up to 50 with 2 down on the side of Springfield, Ohio. I guess the commentator's curse is real. They're pushing all the way up to 25. even further, all the way up to 13.
Yeah, this is really good movement. Look at that! Surfing on the Kraken, but not going to get the dunk. Oh my goodness, I have not seen a play like that yet. I know this update has only been out for 5 days, but that was absolutely incredible. Just stick with your Kraken. Literally, they're like surfing on them. That was so cool, so amazing. But Springfield, Ohio, man, they got lucky for being able to get that splat at the last second, and they are still alive in this game.
I've heard of plays like that. I haven't seen them done in person. That's typically something I would try to do with like a crab team or something, but with the Kraken it's even easier. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get a push, and it looks like they relinquished both of the crab teams. So let's see if Springfield, Ohio can actually get a push going. I mean,
yeah, it's going to be hard because they just haven't had control of mid at all during this game. You know, with the aggression from the stamp that was coming out from the Wiper player, I'm just being able to push up. But, you know, it just hasn't been working out. But this could be their opportunity. Oh, no, they are 2 players down. Man, somebody on this team, somebody on Banana Split is just, like, racking up these KAs.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to hear about the KAs after this game, because there are just so many kills on both sides. Someone is just going to grab some. That is 2 down. I believe that is on the side of Banana Split. Let's see if they can keep this push alive there.
Yeah,
just chucking burst bombs.
Honestly, that's what you need at that point. You just need to keep pressuring them because you want to keep your distance. You don't really want to rush into the Rainmaker because if they slip past you, you're not going to have a successful flank, perhaps. So that was a really good defensive stop by Springfield. But again, now the clock is ticking. We haven't seen Springfield get any points so far. So they're really going to have, like, I'll say, like 1 or 2 amazing pushes. And with the clock ticking down, it's going to be that much more tricky.
Yeah, and I realized it took me 4 minutes into this game to realize they're running triple burst bomb. But let's see if side of Banana Split can keep up this push going and maybe even get knockout. I know they already got down to 1, but let's see if they can actually get the knockout.
Yeah, and they don't need to, but of course, anytime they have the Rainmaker, that just means Springfield, Ohio won't have it too. So, you know, do all that you can to keep the aggression. And I like exactly what this player did. I like what the gal did, which is just like, okay, my Kraken's going to go away. I need to be in a position where I can hide while I'm vulnerable. So they did a very good job with that. Springfield now going to have 1 opportunity with 2 players down. They are going to be picking up the Rainmaker. I don't know how much paint they have to work with, but this is going to be a very hard push if they're going to get it forward.
Yeah, they're all the way back in their zone past their checkpoint as well. They have to get to the opponent checkpoint and all the way to a knockout in the next, and that's not it.
Yeah, so a very dominant game there by Banana Split. You know, it went the whole 5 minutes where Springfield, you know, unfortunately couldn't get the Rainmaker on the Banana Split side. But it just goes to show those like early 1v1s, how important they are to kind of set the tone and just push paint up on the enemy side so that they have to work extra hard if they want to try and push it forward. And that was game 3. So right now, Banana Split up 3-0 above Springfield, Ohio. So 1 more. This is going to be a best of 7. 1 more for them, and they will be victorious in week 1. But Springfield High, hey, the reverse sweep is still possible. Of course, we've seen it, but it's going to be a tough, an uphill battle.
Yeah, totally. But that'd be something that I'd really love to see. I believe, what is the next match? I believe it is Clan Blitz. Yes, it's Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge. Not my favorite map. Not my least favorite map. But what do you think about this map, Falco?
You really have to watch for your flanks. I'll say if your basket is open and you don't know where these clams are coming from, it can be very hard because of course you're going to focus directly in front of the basket, kind of on that left side. But if there is somebody flanking, you might have to chase them a little bit. You might have to chase them kind of around the snipe, and if you drop down, that's going to leave your basket even more vulnerable. So based on this map and how well Banana Split has been playing so far, you know, Clan Blitz kind of being a more team-oriented mode over the other 3, not that any of these modes aren't, I believe this will benefit Banana Split just based on how well they have been able to keep their map control and work together. So It will be tough. It will be tough. And I think, too, with the weapons that Springfield, Ohio has, they haven't been changing it. And when you have a more predictable comp, it's going to make it easier to kind of counter that, which I think Banana Split has been doing a very good job with. So it will, yeah, it'll be tricky for Springfield, but it's definitely not impossible.
Yeah, but Plant Blitz is definitely probably the hardest mode, the hardest ranked mode in terms of cooperation with your team. If you are not well coordinated with your team, that it is just going to be a straight knockout. So I'm excited to see how this match goes.
Yeah, and we'll see if Banana Split can bring it home here with a 4-0 victory, or Springfield still has some gas left in the tank. Let's take a look at these comps for this Game 4. We are going to see some things change on the side of Springfield. We're going to see the dualies come out, so they're no longer going to be running that double splash, but they're going to be keeping the 96 gallon, the wiper, and then it looks like Banana Split going back to that same comp that they used for Game 2.
Yeah, I believe on the side of... I believe that's Banana Split. They're running a double... I believe that's double Auto Bomb with the Bamboo and the Petros. Auto Bomb has been a pretty good sub-weapon in this game. It's not too overpowered, but it's not too underpowered either. Great for marking enemy locations, so they're going to have a lot of intel about the other teams.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice, too, to just kind of chuck the auto bomb up there, see what direction it goes, and potentially get a pick if the other team is not very careful. And right now, it looks like members of Springfield still doing a good job keeping control of some mid. This isn't really something that we had seen in the other games so far. They are able to stay alive, but they do look a little staggered as a few of their players are now starting to go down, but no power claims are formed quite yet. It looks like both teams are kind of on pace with one player on each team having 5 clams and might be setting themselves up pretty well. And Noel and Banana Abby doing a good job, just trying to track down Batson in the Squelchers, but not going to get them. So this will be Springfield's opportunity if they want to try and get a push.
Yeah, and they had 3 down on the side of Banana Split, and see if they were able to make a push out of it. They still have 3 alive on the side of Banana Split right now, and a lot of power claims, and they are able to get a push out of it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that much, and that's an immediate wipeout by Banana Split. And let's see if they can actually retaliate with a push of their own.
Yeah, getting 3 clams in the follow-up too. I think in that situation, you have to be happy that you got 3 clams in based on how quickly the rest of your teammates went down. You know, of course, kind of the golden rule on your first push is get below 60. That's the way you can, get more than 2 power claims worth. But look at this. Now 2 players down on 3 down on both teams. It's going to be Batson versus a member of... Oh, look at that strike on Noel. There we go. Is that going to be the double? No, it's not going to be the double. Very, very close, but they are going to be tying this up. Is there anything left in the tank on the side of Banana Split? It looks like no, so tying it up just for a moment, but Springfield going to be holding on to the lead at this time.
Yeah, and that crack camping the enemy jump is probably one of the most terrifying things you can ever experience in this game. Someone popping a Kraken right next to you is probably one of the most terrifying things, because you know that you cannot do anything to that, you just have to run.
Yeah, like, there's really no way to counter. That's exactly what I've been doing every time that I saw Kraken. I'm like, nope, I'm just not going to engage. I'm not going to try anything here. I'm just going to run away. That's exactly right. Banana Split now has a lot of map control, and we do see they have 2 power claims that they are trying to work with, building some of their specials and using it. They do have control of mid. It looks like Noel's going to be tossing it back to one of their members. It's going to be the Bamboo who they toss it to. Less than 2 minutes left in this game, and they are getting more and more map control. They're making Springfield struggle a little bit more, but Springfield coming out with a Kraken of their own, trying to get some picks. They are able to take down one player and take a little more of mid, so this is going to be a really good push. Salas coming in with the hammer, applying more pressure, but no power claims yet on the side of Springfield.
Yeah, but on the side of Banana Split, they have 3 specials charged, and they did use one of them. They also have 2 whales charged as well that they can use anytime. It looks like they popped one of them, and they also popped a Reef Flyer. I believe that was on this... Yeah, that was from the Tetris. They popped the Reef Flyer. I don't know why I thought Tetris had whale for a sec. I guess... I don't know.
And now 2 players down on both sides. It's just a lot of trades are going on at mid, and no good push yet from either team. It looked like Banana Split was pretty close, but Springfield were able to hold on to their defense for quite some time. So again, this neutral game here, of course, is going to benefit Springfield, but one power claim from either team will really help, as it's going to get past their penalty points. So Springfield got to be really careful not to let Banana Split break in even at all in the next 40 seconds.
Yeah, the other games were really big. I wouldn't say blowout. I mean, on the side of Rainbow, they're less blowout. This game is fairly even. There's only a 1-point difference from both teams. Many of the trades have been pretty even as well. Maps and stuff have been pretty even as well. So this is anyone's game right now. But it looks like there's 2 down on the side of Banana Split. You can see if Springfield, Ohio is able to make a football before the timer runs down to 15. They also do have the lead, and it looks like Banana Split does have a pity clam, so we'll see if they can actually make a push in these last as we go into overtime.
Yeah, see, this is where you juggle between, okay, am I playing offense or defense? What do I want to prioritize? If I play offense, I could end the game right here, right now, but if I can't leave my basket, I don't want to leave it vulnerable. So a very, very smart crab spot here by the by a member of Springfield as they're staying alive. 3 players down. There's the wipeout. Okay, Springfield is still going to be alive as they get their first win of the set, but they are down 3-1. But we will be at least be seeing a game 5, so this is exciting.
Yeah, that was a great crab tank on the side of, I believe that was Springfield, Ohio. Able to put pressure on that basket without even having to leave that top area, and it just put Banana Split in a chokehold, and they had to stay back until that crap was over, and it eventually led to their loss.
Yeah, in this game, like, I know the scoring can be tricky on Scorch, as in sometimes you don't have really high pushes, but Springfield did an amazing job just playing smart defense, not allowing Banana Split to push forward.
Yeah, and we are going to be going into game 5, which is Zone's Brine Water. Ew.
Tell me how you really feel about this one, Drumar.
Ew, that's how I really feel about this. I don't like this. I don't really like this map. The zone is too small. I know I dubbed this as my map, but I still don't like it. But I know some people love this map mode. Personally, out of every Brine Water map mode, that's my least favorite, just because the zone is so small. But I'm excited to see how this game goes.
Yeah, it is a small zone, and once you are pushed up, it is real hard to come back, because you have 2 options at this point. Number 1 is to fight fire with fire. You do have an uphill, or you do have to higher ground, which is good, but typically when the players you're against are using their specials on the lower end, it's going to be tricky. Or you could drop down in mid and just be super vulnerable, but potentially try and contest and cap. So it's a very situational decision that you will want to try and gauge, but you know, I've seen games like this end straight up knockout. I've seen it go on pretty long, and you know, both teams kind of struggle, and there's a lot of back and forth. And based on how well Springfield, Ohio did in that game 4 on the Clan Blitz, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way.
Yeah, totally. I'm wondering if they're going to pull out an E-leader for this game, with this map being very E-leader heavy. And it looks like we have a tri-stringer on one side. And I was right, they do have an E-leader, I believe that is on the side of Banana Split. Team comps aren't really that fair. We see an H, I believe that's an L3 on the side of Banana Split as well. Very interesting comp choices for these.
Yeah, both teams seem to be switching it up, and that's going to be a really nice, really nice double there. Oh man, on the side of Banana Split, getting 2 down, 3 down. So yeah, this is exactly the moment where you need to push up. Get the E-leader taking control of mid, and you have your other 2 players push up, using the Kraken up towards the spawn of Springfield, Ohio. A lot of paint covered up there. Oh my goodness, these are some really good snipes with their E-leader.
Yeah, E-leader putting so much pressure, just being able to sit in mid, and being able to snipe all the way into the enemy zone. Another reason why I don't like this map, but it looks like, I believe, Springfield, Ohio is going to be able to get a pushback, and they are able to cap the zone again, giving Banana Split 42 penalty points on top of their other 46.
Yeah, and that push was led by Batson. They were using the Kraken to just push forward, serve as a distraction too, because if you're the first one into mid, everybody's going to be going from you, even if you're vulnerable. So that was able to lead the rest of their team in. Just staying alive too in all the enemy ink as your Kraken goes away is really impressive. And this is working out very well for Springfield. Almost able to take the lead, but that the zone is going to be quickly capped by Banana Split, and they are able to hold on.
Yeah, Banana Split does have a Kraken charge as well as a stamp from Noel. Really interesting to see how these teams are able to use their specials, see if they're able to get past these penalty points. And looks like Springfield, Ohio is using their Kraken early. And Johnny on the side of Banana Split finally uses his Kraken. Is he going to be able to get a pick? And he does, and that is 2 down on the side of Banana Split, 1 down on the side of Springfield, Ohio.
And right now, too, this is a situation where Springfield, Ohio is actually doing a really good job. I know they don't have the lead yet and don't really have control of the zone, but they are keeping some of their players alive. Now, 2 are going to go down, 3 are going to go live. It's actually just going to be the Stringer or the Reflux who's going to be there. Or, I'm sorry, Tri-Stringer who's going to be alive, as they're not able to keep control anymore as some of these players are going to be jumping in. So this is going to be an opportunity for Banana Split to push up and get control, as it looks like members of Springfield just going down 1 by 1. And here comes the flank too. Are they able to stay alive? They are, but they're going to be having to push back up.
Yeah, Banana Split just full charge all the way into Springfield, Ohio base. And that's a Kraken as well as a Torpedo. And that is the Stringer down as well as the Splash. They have 2 alive on the side of Springfield, Ohio. They do have a Kraken search, however.
Yeah, and when you get locked out, I know we said it at the beginning of this match, but it is hard to break in when you get put in this situation. This is the same play that we saw that was used earlier to help cap. It's going to be Batson who's using the Kraken to try and push in, but they're not going to be as lucky this time as they're going to go down. That's going to be the game and actually seal the deal. Banana Split is going to win this first set for week 1 of CCA 4-1 against Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, Banana Split was great at keeping that zone with their color. Able to push all the way up to Springfield, Ohio base with a lot of their specials. Great coordination with all their weapons, subs, and specials as well. And that was a really good game for them.
It was, and there were definitely some good plays by Springfield too. Of course, we talk about, Batson pushing in, help getting that first cap for Springfield and staying alive. I think if it weren't for that, this game would have ended in about 45 seconds total. But no, they were able to extend it about 2 minutes. So a very good effort. And hey, avoiding the sweep. I know it's always hard whenever you go down, I'll say 3 games to try and make that comeback, and it takes 1 game at a time, but it's not going to work out for them. And, in CCA tradition, it looks like we will be going on and finishing this set and having the next 2 games be played out regardless. And I'm excited to see it based on the skill levels of both of these teams. It should be a fun one. Looks like we will be going to Tower Control Flounder Heights.
Yeah, Tower Control Flounder Heights is another ill. I don't like this. But, yeah, both these teams are very even in skill level. Again, both being top 10 in entrance exam. This was a great Div 1 matchup to watch, and even though the rest of this isn't for scoring, it's going to be a lot of fun watching these last 2 games.
Yeah, and you can take this one of a few ways. You can try the same things that you were doing during the regular set, or since the pressure's off, you don't have the added on pressure of really trying to, use your greatest weapons. You can be a little more experimental with this. If there's a weapon that came out in the new patch and you're like, hey, I want to practice this a little more, this is a good opportunity. It's literally a free scrim, so very low stakes here for these next 2 games. But
yeah, you could do quad dualies on Tower Control Sturgeon, like we did against you in that scrim.
You say that as if that happened before sometime during a non-decisive game. That's so weird.
And maybe we almost won that as well.
Let's go on to game 5 here again. This set has already been decided with Banana Split winning the set 4-1, but we are giving you 2 bonus games. And yeah, we see the total comp switch up on the side of, it looks like that's going to be Banana Split. With the double bucket and the blaster, so I'm all for this.
Yes, definitely. Tri-Slosher and Blaster are two weapons that are great for PC. Range Blaster and Tri-Slosher do well against like new two tower control mains, so I'm really excited to see this.
Indeed. And hey, look at this. Springfield, Ohio taking quick work of this tower quickly, getting past that first checkpoint. Looks like there's only one player who's going to be back, and yeah, that's going to be the Slosher with the triple ink strike. But they are able to get some nice picks. I thought that was going to kind of spiral out of control in favor of Springfield, Ohio, but no, it's not going to do quite yet, but they are getting to that second checkpoint. So, again, I like seeing these weapons that we don't get to see very often.
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel like low div, either Ludi or maybe even CCA as well. There's a lot more weapon variation in those lower divs. Higher divs typically will like only play the meta, like they'll play double, triple splash, or they'll play Slosher Machine and all that. You get a lot more variety, and honestly, it makes the matches more interesting.
It really does, and I guess with a double bucket comp like Banana Split has, I'm not surprised with this specific map. There are so many ledges. Anytime you have additional height on a map, it's going to favor a bucket. Just to be able to stand up here and paint downward and not let anybody swim up. So it's they're cooking right now. Banana Split's doing a good job, and it looks like they're going to be on pace to take the lead as they approach the second checkpoint.
Yeah, especially the Tri-Slosher with Inkjet. With the hell of a lot of walls on this map, Inkjet is probably way better than Act Cooler. It is unfortunate that it doesn't have a bomb and it has Dash Witness instead, but they're making it work.
Yeah, they are. Having, anytime you don't have a lethal bomb or lethal sub, that does definitely make it a little more tricky. A little less paint coverage, and look at that. It's going to be nice two down here in favor of Springfield, Ohio, as they are able to take more control of mid. But again, with this particular map, it can spiral out of control. And I'll say thankfully for both of these teams, it hasn't quite been there yet. But now Springfield, Ohio on pace to maybe do that, as they do have the lead, getting some really nice picks. That's going to be a Blaster direct as well. And they're going to be extending this lead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one reason I'm not a huge fan of this map, is that mid is high ground. So it's very difficult once it starts to just pile down towards your base. It's very hard to like get a comeback going.
It is, but we have seen both of these teams take the objective to try and do it, and it makes these checkpoints even more important when you have your specials built up, because if of course, if they can't get past it and you're able to stop them, you're going to have to force them to get through that checkpoint once again. So both of these teams at least still have one more checkpoint to get through, and it looks like Springfield, Ohio is still going to have their second one. They don't have a player advantage right now and set them up pretty well. I think, too, you're just in a situation here where it feels more like a friendly PB. Of course, these teams are still, obviously communicating and trying their hardest, but just a slight different play style than what we had seen in the first few sets, the first few matches.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that the pressure is off for both these teams. They're very much just playing for fun right now. Sometimes playing for fun is just probably more fun than playing comp sometimes, but yeah.
And right now, with about a minute left, it looks like Banana Split's able to push it pretty far. That is going to be a wipeout. Not getting past that third checkpoint, but getting pretty darn close through it. So again, Springfield, Ohio needing to take control of mid to try and push up. They're going to have some specials online. They're going to have the triple ink strike in the crab ready to use. And, but you get the crab in mid, I will say, at the position of where that first checkpoint is, it's going to be really good, but... Ooh, 3 are going to go down on the side of Banana Splits, and 3 also down on the side of Springfield. And these trades, when the tower's not moving, is just going to favor the team who's already in the lead.
Yeah, Crab Tank is my favorite weapon. It's not my favorite weapon to play on this map. This would definitely be a moment where I would play like Neo Slash or maybe some other super in general. Crab Tank, pretty much unless you're in mid, it's not really that useful. It's definitely a weapon. It's definitely a special you want to use on high ground. And with mid being high ground, you're gonna want to use it like in those back areas, but yeah, not really on low ground special for like different.
And with that, Banana Split able to push the tower further, get this win. winning this game, and of course this one doesn't have any indication on the set. So, Banana Split having fun with new weapons. It was again refreshing to see a Slosher and a Blaster. Blaster's a weapon I started playing more recently in Splatoon 3, but kind of stepped away with the 2.0 patch, so it's always good to see again.
Yeah, I feel like every patch I feel myself moving further and further away from Range Blaster, especially with Tri-Slosher Nouveau coming out with an actual good kit. I still like Range Blaster, but I don't know how much I'm going to be playing it now.
Yeah, it's hard because there's no easy escape with it. With the Suction Bomb and Wave Breaker, it's nice to have that special to kind of track some players, but you have no safety net like a vanilla Blaster where you can just use a bubble and stay alive for extra few seconds if you need to.
Especially if you miss a shot right next to someone, you're dead. Like there's too much like, what's the word for it? And the fire rate's too slow. You're not gonna be able
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah. It is slower too. That's a good point. So we will have one more match headed your way between this set of Springfield, Ohio and Banana Split. We will be going on to Rainmaker Undertow. I've seen some very fun things with this map, especially with the checkpoint that's on the left side of the map and how you push from there to get to the final podium. You have the option of going on the slick spot directly at the middle. You have the option of using that little half circle grates that can be a little more risky. Definitely pros and cons to each of these things, and I've always had a blast watching it.
Yeah, this is probably, as much as I don't really like Undertow as a map, Undertow Rainmaker is still really fun. What's really surprising about this map is that typically you see the map layout and you're like, oh yeah, most teams are just going to go right for that push. And I see more often than not teams actually go left, which is kind of odd, but honestly kind of makes sense at the same time. But it looks
yeah,
like we're
going left, I think you can get a little better situated. It's easier to get that first checkpoint going right, but when you go left, that allows you to regroup a little more and kind of put your ducks in a row, get your players where you want to push them. So taking a look at these comps now, we are going to see the double wiper with the Splatana Stamper and the wiper coming out on the side of, I believe that is Springfield, Ohio. And then even more, we have more fun comps with the yeah, it looks like it's the Carbon Roller coming out on the side of Banana Split. So, a weapon we don't see all the time here in comp, able to get a nice pick here. And now Banana Split opting to take it to this right side, able to get that checkpoint and get that dunk.
Commentator curse is so real. Yeah, I don't see a lot of teams going right. And they immediately go right. I should really just keep my mouth shut, shouldn't I?
Hey, I was thinking the same thing you were, and if sometimes commentators' curse can benefit the team too, and I mean that's exactly what it did for Banana Split. So they're able to do a really good job. Rainmaker's going to reset 3 specials on the line now for Banana Split, as they do have control of mid, but Springfield, Ohio actually getting a few good picks, 2 players down. Are they going to be picking up the Rainmaker? Doesn't look like quite yet, as the backline charger is still in a spot where they might not be ready to pick it up. That's going to be a really nice snipe getting that jump.
Yeah, that was a great pick on the side of the Banana Split. And that's another pick on the side of the Banana Split. This E-leader is getting up so many. That was a great double by the E-leader. It looks like they're going to get cornered by this, I think the Stamper, and I think both of them go down.
Yeah, both of them are going to go down there. It's just going to be the Stringer who's alive momentarily for the side of Springfield, as they are pushed back. Yeah, now they are down. So could be an opportunity for Banana Split to pick up the Rainmaker once more, maybe waiting for that Carbon to come back. But no, they're going to be having more pressure against them now, so it's going to be a little more tricky. Ooh, that is a nice pick on Batson, who is actually going to just use their Zipcaster to try something funky, but it wasn't going to work out.
It's great seeing these cracking plays in like day 4 of the new update. It's so fun to see what teams are already able to do with the new special, and being able to get so many picks with a special they've added on it for like 4 days. Yeah, this new season's really gonna shake things up. I feel like
Yeah.
no one.
Oh yeah, and we've seen, again, like you said, a bunch of great clips already, and since it's only day 4, there's a lot of things that we haven't discovered of what's really possible with this weapon, and how well that players can utilize their special, so I'm always excited to see it when it happens.
Yeah, especially it saddens me deeply that Kraken is only on 2 weapons, and 2 weapons that I am A, not good at using, and B, don't like playing. So hopefully we get custom range blaster with Kraken. So the weapon.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. The 96 Deco, and what's the other one? I can't think of it.
Kraken roller.
Crack on a roller. That's right. That's right.
That is one of the main weapon types that I can't do it. I can't do it. Props to all you roller mains out there.
Oh, and now it looks like Springfield picking the Rainmaker up. Unfortunately, can't really getting past that 92 mark that they had it before. Just not a lot of paint control, and it looks like somebody was trying to flank on the side of Banana Split, taking out this Tri-Stringer, but Tri-Stringer still staying alive. It's just hard because they're not winning the 1v1s, really. It makes it also harder for the backline to try and push forward, which is really what you need to do to push the objective. So yeah, they are going to have to retreat back here, as Banana Split doing a really good job just trying to get these splats on Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, and as of this moment, it doesn't look like one team is able to get that big of a push. I know that now that I say that one of these teams is going to get a giant push, but it seems the furthest I believe it's Banana Split getting all the way to 60. Hitting the checkpoint. So I'm interested to see if either Springfield can get further than them, or if Banana Split can keep a push going and get even further. And that is a great arc shot by the Tri-Stringer. I believe that's on Springfield.
Yeah, oh, that was fantastic. I'm able to get that pick. But now, Springfield. Of course, here, this is a position where I feel like you've been in this position a few times during this set. This Carbon Roller, I'd say, is having a lot of fun with this game, just being able to get these flanks and run everywhere around the map. And now Banana Split finally opting to take it to the left side to stay alive and get some momentum, as they are still hanging out on the Slick. Going to be hiding out here just a little bit, getting one good pick. Are they going to get the dunk, or are we going to have time expire? Oh, there's the wipeout, though. Okay, so we're going to have the pop and the pickup, and that will be the GG's.
I said, it's like, I wonder if no team has really gotten that big of a push, and now they finish at 8. Commentator's curse.
It took a while into the game, though, for them to get to that point. So,
yeah.
It was a good effort by Springfield. Banana Split, I think, just had control of the entire map during that point. But hey, that's actually going to be it for this set. Banana Split did win the set 4-1, and we had a few bonus games for you. So that was very exciting. We do have one more set that's going to be coming up later that's going to be happening in about 10 minutes. It's going to be another Div 1 matchup between the Husky Splatsville Knights from University of Washington versus Kraken Squids from University of Central Florida. That's going to be a really fun matchup. And Vapor and Mewtwo will be on the mic for that one. But that is going to do it for Drumar and myself. Drumar, where can we find you?
You could find my team on Twitter at PPP_splat. Also, 3 p.m. EaUCD right here on the CCA channel. We will be playing our Div 4 match. So if you want to help support me and my team as we play tomorrow on stream, I'd greatly appreciate it. Falco, where can they find you?
You can find me FalcoFire11 on Twitter. Now that Ludi is done, I have time to breathe, which is pretty cool. No Ludi sets the cast for a few months. Who knows when the next season's going to start. But we thank you guys for watching today. Always love watching and commentating the CCA sets. But yeah, you guys don't go anywhere, because we will have one more Div 1 set headed your way. So we will see you soon.